Kanika is saying, someone in my family doesn't behave well with me and I think she is jealous of me. How to handle people who are jealous of you and behave rudely with you? Okay, that's a wonderful question, Kanika. Now, my suggestion is, in this case, the classic Hindi kahavat, tali do haath se bachti hai, right? Ek haath se nahi bachti hai. I'm not asking you to blame yourself for anything or not saying that you must be doing something about it. But what I mean to say is, when we are two people in that equation, a 50% responsibility lies with the person who is the perpetrator and 50% responsibility lies with the victim, right? Victim and victimizer. Now, let's say in your perception, the person who's not behaving well with you is a victimizer, and maybe you are bothered about it because this person is in the authority space, because you wouldn't mind if somebody was not in an authority place. You wouldn't mind whether that person is behaving well with you or no. But here it seems like this person has a certain authority in your life and their approval matters to you. And that's the reason you're saying that they are not behaving well. And it's kind of causing a distress in your life. It's probably impacting the other relationships as well. And it's probably making you uncomfortable on the day-to-day basis, right? Now, even when that is the situation, I want to tell you that it's 50-50%. When that person is not behaving well, 50% of that is their responsibility. And when they are not behaving well with you, 50% the responsibility lies with you. Now, when I said that, why I'm saying it? Remember, you teach people how to treat you. Let that sink in one more time. You teach people how to treat you. Now, what happens in our spaces when the people, those are in the authority figure, and when they start behaving in a certain way, you feel intimidated and you go on the back foot. And you allow them to do what they're doing for the first time. You think of ignoring it because you feel that, if I do something about it, then maybe my other relationships will be impacted, or maybe it will create a chaos in life. Now, the reasons you're not taking this head on is very simple. You are not looking for breaking the status quo, because something in that equation is still very fulfilling in your life. You heard it right, and that could be a truth bomb. Now remember that you cannot change other people directly. But what you can do is you can start working on yourself so that you can start setting boundaries. Setting boundaries could be very small or big way. You can start small. In terms of when this person doesn't behave well with you, how can you start expressing through your body, through your face expressions, or maybe directly saying it? Not complaining, but asking strategic questions and understanding what is in it you that you can change so that this person gets the message that you are not intimidated. Unfortunately, we are all hardwired for the power game since millions of years, because we are animals at the deeper instincts, right? Everybody is playing the power game. So when you get intimidated for whatever reason, and intimidation comes from the space of when you look at somebody as, oh my God, this, when you put someone on a pedestal, you start feeling intimidated, and then you start feeling, oh, I can't say anything to this person because if I say something to this person, maybe things will not go well for me. Or when you start, looking down upon somebody, you start intimidating them. That's the game every human being plays at the deeper level, especially in the relationships and close relationships. So when you want to understand this, that what is in this person intimidates you, and why does it intimidate you? The intimidation comes from the space of lack of your self-worth, of feeling that if you question this behavior, maybe something you will lose in your life. So ask yourself this question, is this true? Is this true that if you question this person's behavior, are you going to lose that precious thing that you don't want to lose? And how can you secure that precious thing before questioning this person? So how can you start building your fortress of solitude, or having people in your life, those who are supporting you, before you question this person? So it has to be a very strategic way of understanding. And also the second thing that you need to understand is, how can you create a balance rather than keeping this person on pedestal or keeping somebody below you? How can you create a balance in your space so both of you in your mind are equal? Because let's be honest, at the soul level, we are all equals. But only when we are in this world, everybody has a different value. So maybe you need to understand that maybe your perceived value about this person is very high, and that's why you are intimidated. So how can you bring in your value up so that you become equal in this world? The value could be financial, emotional, physical, mental, anything. Whatever is necessary in your space. And when you look at these things, you start thinking from the point of view of how can you become more equal in your mind, in your heart, with this person. And the moment your self-worth increases, your value increases, you start setting healthy boundaries, because the person opposite to you start noticing it, and automatically they start backing off. You see, in the jungle, when there's a power game going on, if suppose there are two tigers, or if suppose there are two elephants fighting, whoever is more powerful, the other one backs out, right? Same thing goes in the human psychology. And this is a truth, hard truth. Let's accept it, and let's go from that space, that how can you start increasing your self-worth so you are no more playing that game. That's the beauty of human life. You don't need to play the game. But to be in that state of not playing the game, first you have to play the game so that you can rise above the game. Remember that. You cannot escape it. If you are already in the game, you might as well win the game. And when you win the game, you don't play the game so that you don't become the victimizer. Right now you are at the receiving end, but how can you stop being at the receiving or giving end? By playing the game well and then surpassing it and going and being in the state of, complete extraordinary self, so that when people look at you, they seek advice from you and they ask you that how can I be better? How can I be like you? So aspire to be that better version of yourself, but this is a route that you can take to get there. Okay, I hope, Kanika, this is going to help you to little more understanding about yourself and to understand how can you start working on yourself. All the best.